Dear Dhamma friends, we have come to the last question and answer session in this Kalalgoda English Medium retreat. So as usual, I invite to present with the written questions.
Venerable Bhante, when I do walking meditation, I pay attention only to my heel, and I always notice only the roughness of the sand or the choir mat. This way my mind gets settled enough to do seated meditation. Please advise whether it is okay to do walking meditation this way. Theruvan Saranai.
I think it is enough because it is not actually. You can observe various sensations even throughout the body, but that is not. That is also useful at a later stage. But at the beginning or in a fair amount of time, it is enough to maintain your attention at the soles, at your toes and soles basically, and then your concentration is well focused there. And kind of in a limited space, say limited area, when you are paying more attention, then your understanding, your penetration to that object will be very much good. Basically, good penetration, good understanding, kind of a because whole mind energy is now well focused to a limited area. So therefore, I feel it is quite enough to just have this kind of a little area, only the roughness, doesn't matter, and then see more details even from that roughness. It is not just surface kind of scanning. Just see how this roughness starting, how it is changing, how it is disappearing, then how roughness starts at another place, how it is starting, how it is changing, how it is disappearing. Because even you are focusing only to roughness itself behaves in a different way. So you can focus this little detail just related to this one characteristic. It is not that we have to know all the characteristics. Whatever is prominent is more than enough. We may have so many characteristics available, but if we are simply focusing to a one mostly predominant characteristics, and if we are able to catch all little details pertaining to that is more than enough. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, I've realized that it is easier for me to center myself, focus, during walking meditation when I am also mindfully breathing. Is that the right technique? Please advise. Thank you, Theruvan Saranai.
Mindfully breathing, it is okay, but as you know, breathing, typically we are keeping our attention at the nostril. So it is, there are benefits of that. So these are different areas where we are strengthening our mindfulness muscle, we can say. So in the walking meditation, so we are maintaining continuous mindfulness, but the place consistently changing. Say when you are placing your left leg, so you have to maintain your attention there. When you are placing right leg, your attention goes there. So you have to quickly change the positioning. But still your mind should not distract. You have to have proper attention. You have to have proper aiming to the exact place where you feel the sensation. And you are continuously mindful. So this is a different exercise. But on the other hand, if you are simply placing your attention at the nostril, even throughout the walking, then your attention is limited there, and you don't need to jump here and there. But it is more into a kind of a, say, sitting type of meditation. It's more into a, you won't get the exercise as you get through the walking meditation, where you have to quickly change the place of attention while maintaining continuous mindfulness. So that's a different kind of aspect in meditation, and that is necessary. Because once you come to, say, mostly to the observing various phenomena, observing various sensations happening throughout the body, you don't know where your next sensation would arise. So you should be ready, alert, So immediately when there's a sensation occurs at any place within the body, throughout the body, you are there. Immediately you are there. You are available there. So that exercise being well trained using walking meditation. So you won't get that exercise if you are simply keeping your attention at the nostril throughout your walking. So that's a disadvantage. So just understand the technique, then rather than just doing anapanasati while walking, just try to do walking. Just, keep your attention at different places. Then you will understand it's difficult at the beginning because you have to quickly focus. You have to change the position quickly. But later on you will find it more interesting, more dynamic. Yeah.
Venerable Thero, when I listened to your sermon yesterday on dependent origination, I understood that each of the effect becomes the cause for the next effect. Example, sankhara is the result of ignorance as well as the cause for consciousness. If so, what is the cause of ignorance?
So, there is, in Sammaditthi Sutta, Venerable Sariputta says, for ignorance it is the asava is the cause. But then you will ask, what's the cause for asava? So these are some tricky points that you need to find the sort of very root, very beginning point. So Buddha says you can't find a beginning point related to the samsara. Suppose, say for example, say your appearance in the samsara occurred, say 100 lifetimes before. Say you started like a monkey, for example. And then turned into chimpanzee, and then turned into a human, then turned back to a monkey. Like that you come and now you are a human being. So Buddha say you can't find such a root, such a beginning place. So similarly, this cycle, it's a kind of an explanation Buddha is giving that the principle is idan imasming sati idang hoti, imassuppada idang uppajjati, imasming asati idang na hoti, imassa nirodha idang nirujjati. Basically, when this exists, it conditions another causing result to appear. Because of the appearance of this, because of the arising of this, another thing arising. So if you understand this principle, this is the basic principle in the Paticcasamuppada, and then you don't need to ask what is the first cause or what is the first thing. Because any link, any two factors can be included to this principle. So you don't need to go and find out which link is the first link. So any two links can be taken, say ignorance conditions, mental formations. Mental formations condition, consciousness. Likewise, if you can apply this principle to any of these links. So for understanding, Buddha is presenting it starting with ignorance. So that is a way to understand how the mind works in a particular pattern. So once you understand in this way, then it is easy to sort of penetrate this cycle, to overcome this cycle, to cut through this cycle. So it's for easy explanation, as far as I can see, that Buddha is starting with ignorance, and then it is easy to explain this what is really happening at the mind. So finding root for ignorance, and it is actually some sutta also, another monk also asking what is the cause for ignorance. And as far as I can remember, Buddha is telling the cause is ignorance. Ignorance is the cause. So therefore, rather than finding the cause for ignorance, so it is ignorance is there. So how to overcome that? So you can't find what is the cause for ignorance. Ignorance is ignorance. So let's try to overcome the ignorance. Once you overcome ignorance, so then there is no precedent factors. Say for example, as I took the yesterday example, say when you are going to a magic show, to seeing a magic show, suppose you don't know any of the tricks of the magician. So then why you don't know? So because you didn't investigate in a way, we can say. You didn't investigate. So in a way, so you can now thoroughly investigating all the phenomena. So that we can approach in that way. Say you are given an exercise to investigate element characteristics, to investigate the behavior of the feelings, to investigate the behavior of the mind, states of the mind. So through this investigation, your ignorance will be eliminated. So you can say, since we didn't do that, since we didn't go through such an exercise, we have some already available ignorance, already latent ignorance. Because Buddha say ignorance itself is a influx, asava, avijjasava. In the asava, there are three main asavas. Buddha is talking: kamasava, bhavasava, avijjasava. Avijjasava, ignorance as an influx is there. It is already hidden. It is latent. When we are coming as a human being, as an infant, the package consists that. It's already available. So it's a matter of eliminating that. So that's why even there's a beautifully Buddha saying, now little children, if you consider, they don't have such a gross defilement as we have. But if they die at their young age, infant age, will they completely finish their life? There won't be any rebirth? What do you think? They don't have much defilements as we have. Will they arise again, or will they complete? They attain Nibbana. So Buddha says they won't attain Nibbana because they still have this influxes. Asava is available. So that is why even though the minds are kind of innocent, less defilement, still the latent tendencies are there, sedimented, not uprooted, not completely pure. They are hidden. So that's why as adults we can find out these causes, what is hidden, and over time we have to work out how to uproot them, how to even delete those things. Then only one become fully purified. So that is the finding of the Buddha. Even the other ascetics have found that the defilements are there in the mind, and those can be overcome through the concentration practices. But Buddha says just concentration is not enough. Just concentration is simply subsiding the defilements. It won't uproot the influxes, asavas. So asavas are the findings of the Buddha, that Buddha only reached that very subtle layer of the mind, very hidden layer of the mind. He says that if you are to stop this kind of a continuation in the samsara, you have to uproot this asava. So that takes time, and that needs proper development of the mind, and that is the teaching of the Buddha. None of the other teachers have mentioned about the influxes. Yes. Yeah. Actually, we can't say they are different, because moha and avijja, we can say synonyms. Typically we translate avijja as ignorance, moha as delusion. And typically what is avijja is defined as not knowing the Four Noble Truths. Not knowing the Four Noble Truths. So, and moha also we can say very much that. And other than that, we can, in practical sense, further we can think, now say for example you have a particular object, say this clock for example, and suppose you like it, now you are grasping it, you are holding it, it's mine, like that. So the ignorance is there, already there, because it is even though we call it a clock, there is no such clock as such. So it's a kind of a combination of little components. The assembly we call it, we have given a name called clock. But for us, this clock exists. So it's this kind of a ignorance internally available. So we are simply taking that conventional name existing. There's a thing called clock. But in real terms, there is no such thing. It is for our easy communication. We have given names to everything. So everywhere we have given names. This is a TV, this is a clock, this is a, say, mic, this is cup, blah, blah. So all the different names are given. So we take all this for granted. So the fan exists, TV exists, mic exists, clock exists. In our world, everything exists. And we claim that, we possess that. more and more we claim, more and more we possess, more and more we grasping, and more we suffer. Our mind get cluttered. Our mind get fully complicated with all these conventional things. So meditation help us to overcome all these entanglements, to coming back to the very source. So that is where in your meditation, when you are experiencing these subtle things, when your foot is touching, these sensations, you don't need language to know this. It's a very direct knowledge. Do you need language to know this roughness, this softness, this cold, heat? None of these are direct knowledge. It is not something that we are putting a language on top of that, then we may be talking in a different language. But Buddha is taking us to the very cause, very, very, very source, and that is where we need to access through the concentration. And when you are experiencing that, you can even forget about names. You don't need to know whether it is Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. You don't need to even recall that name. You simply have to be with the very, very quiet, fresh mind, more than enough. Yeah. Yes.
There is a second part to the question. In 5 clinging aggregates, each aggregate arises with the consciousness itself. Why did the Buddha mention Vijnana again as a separate aggregate? Please explain.
Can you repeat at the beginning sentence?
In 5 clinging aggregates, each aggregate arises with the consciousness itself.
Yes. No, actually, this is a way of explanation. So, Rupa Khandha, I think you all can understand. It's a material side. Say, we can simply consider body is one part, the all external physical phenomena, past, future, closer, far, gross, subtle, all the physical things comes under the Rupa Khandha. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana all appear in the mind. So, if you consider one mind moment, all 4 factors are there. Not only 4 factors, actually consciousness and the nama. The feeling, perception, intention, contact, attention. Those are the 4 main factors of the nama, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Passa, Manasikara. And they manifest inside the consciousness. So consciousness is very much like the medium for the manifestation of the nama. So they are all there. Say for example, if you take this tea, okay, water is there. Now you have added some sugar, some tea. So everything is inside now. All are mixed up. So similarly, our mind, the consciousness is the kind of the medium, like water for this. Water is the base, and to that you are adding tea, sugar, whatever, the ginger, whatever things. Those are the ingredients, added things. So they actually color the medium. So our mind, when you are having a loving kindness, the original nature of the mind, which is more equanimous, is being added with this metta. Now it manifests as loving kindness. Its color has changed as loving kindness. Say you add some faith to it, then mind manifests as faithful mind. Say you add lust, it's a lustful mind. Say you add anger, it's an angry mind. So likewise, these external phenomena will color the mind. So in the aggregates, so thing is, once you added these different colors, color become predominant. That original nature has gone. You can't feel the taste of water in a milk, can you? Say you are simply drinking orange. Can you feel water in the orange? You are feeling the orange flavor. The flavor has predominant now. So that is what happened in the mind. So when you have a lustful mind is there. The original equanimity of the equanimous mind is there, but you can't feel it. So in order to feel that, all these external say, external defilements has to be taken away. Then only you can get the original nature of the mind. That is what Buddha says, Pabassara midam bhikkave chittang tanchako agantukehi upakkilesehi upakkilittang. So original nature of the mind is fairly luminous. It is undefiled, pure. It is being polluted with this strange defilements coming outside, you can say like that. So that is where sometimes in the manifestation of the mind, when we may be feeling we may easily understood the feeling aspect, feeling tone. So you are going through some pain. You easily understood the painful feeling. It does not mean it doesn't have a perception. It has perception. And it does not mean it doesn't have consciousness. It is there. Consciousness is there. Suppose it is happening on your body, then the body consciousness is there. Similarly, say you are having some kind of hate towards that sankhara is also there. So all the four aggregates are there. But one of them may be predominant. Therefore, when you are contemplating Panchupadana-khandha, forget about the Rupa-khandha for the time being. If you are paying your attention to the mental side, so among these four aggregates, clinging aggregates, one may be predominant. So that is what you are able to understand. So if feeling is predominant, so keep your attention there. Understand how you clinging to that. If the perception is predominant, if you can easily go understand some mental images going on, illusions going on in the mind, maybe that is causing some feeling as well, but perception may be strong at that time, so understand that. Similarly, you can feel some kind of an intention available, kind of a drive available, motivation available in the mind. At that time, feeling also there. It is not available. It is there, but intention is strong. Your driving force is strong. You are being driven by something. So that is more strong, the intention side. So at that time, sankhara is predominant. Similarly, the consciousness. Consciousness, sometimes if you are not much aware of these things, simply you are aware, okay, lustful thought happen, it disappear. Then anger happen, it disappear. So you simply, rather than taking different things into consider, you simply take the face value. Okay, a particular thought arise and gone away. Another thought arise and gone away. But if we are to see the real original nature of the consciousness, we have to go more and more deeper and overcome all these added ingredients. Then only you will come to the original nature of the mind. Yes. So I am just going through the questions. If you need more clarification or if you like to contribute any word, please feel free to do it. Yeah.
This question also said, we are very grateful to you for sharing Dhamma knowledge with us. May you attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this very life.
You too.
Venerable Bhante, can you please explain in simple terms what is meant by Abhidharma? Is it different to Buddhism? Thank you with metta.
So actually we can't explain in simple terms what is Abhidharma. So as far as I understand now, actually this is not just my understanding. It's beautifully explained by certain other scholar monks, say for example German Analeo for example. So his explanation is very much like, say, during the Buddha's time, so he has directly given the teaching to different individuals. It's a kind of prescriptive. Say you meet Buddha and you are, based on your characteristic, Buddha is giving a prescription to you. And another person come and meet Buddha, and accordingly Buddha is giving another prescription to him. So he practice according to that, he attain Nibbana. So you attain Nibbana. Like that, there are many, say 1,000 people, just for explanation, 1,000 people meet Buddha and he is giving 1,000 prescriptions. Suppose later time, someone heard all these 1,000. Now there are 1,000 prescriptions available. And you include all these 1,000 and come up with a book. Now all the 1,000 prescriptions are there. What do you think? Do you need to know all 1,000 prescriptions to know which is, I don't know. If the Buddha is not there, maybe you can select among these 1,000 which is more appropriate for you. That is also possible. Can't say no. Also possible. That is why the Sutta Pitaka is like, so there are different prescriptions given to various people are there. Not only prescriptions, by the way, I am just taking, for explanation, I am telling like this, for easy understanding. So don't catch me telling that only Bhante is telling prescriptions are there in the Sutta Pitaka. It is not. Just for explanation, take for this. So if someone is simply analyzing in an analytical point of view, academically, all these prescriptions, he can find out certain facts inside. And he can come up with a sort of an analytical model for that. Okay, at this particular place, Buddha has mentioned these kind of factors. At another place, these kind of factors. Another place, these kind of factors. So he gather all this information. So we also do like that. Say, for example, you do some market analysis, kind of statistics. You can catch all these little data and come up with a model. So this is fairly close to what we come across later. So in a way, it is necessary because Buddha's teaching is so direct. So there are many ascetics who challenged Buddha's teaching. So even during the Buddha's time, telling that it is in a way, because most of them came up with the self-view. It's very difficult for them to understand Buddha's teaching because they have strong self-view. So there should be very rational answer for them. And most of them coming with Vedas and all the very academic point of view. And they all, if someone is simply telling just look at your breath, can you think that they can be convinced? Telling that if you just don't forget about all these things, just watch your breath, you will understand everything. You can't convince people like that. So you need so much of explanation, very academic answer to such kind of people. So the later, when Buddhism is going to spreading mass scale to large crowd, so you need some analytical understanding of the teaching. Good explanation to target each and every area very, very analytically. Because analytical answer is required at that time by the society. Even today, if you simply say a very direct way, very soft way, gentle way, sometimes our minds does not appreciate it. Our minds like the complicated formula. We need that kind of a very difficult formula. Then only we think, it's a very profound teaching. So we also split our hair and trying to find out what is there. So that is the character trait in ourselves. So therefore, analytical answer is given. So this analytical answer, as far as I can say, is Abhidhamma. So it is contained Buddha's teaching. But telling that it's a must to know each and everything in Abhidhamma, I feel is not necessary. It's going too much, going too far. So, but if your mind is well focused and if you are able to maintain your attention on different, because Buddha has given many prescriptions, many answers to various questions, and some of them really hits us. Some of them really touch our hearts. So those may be really touching ourselves, more suitable for ourselves. So that area may be very beautifully plugged to ourselves. So I found there's a very beautiful image shared by one of the lecturers in University of Moratuwa. He is Dr. Kitsiri Samarasinghe. There he has really nicely predicted, or rather depicted this, what happened to people. Suppose you have 1,000 ladders. Okay, now you have 1,000 ladders. You are keeping all ladders like this. Now suppose this is the ladder. So rather than keeping like this, you are keeping like this. And another ladder is taking, you are keeping like this. Another ladder taping like this. Another ladder taping like this. Another ladder keeping like this. And you are now getting on to say 1,000 ladders, and now you can see outside. Now you can say you come to this range, and now you can look at it and see, oh, now I can see this side, this other side I can see. What do you think? Do you need these 1,000 ladders? Oh, simply you can use one ladder and keep it in straight. Then you simply climb to that, you can jump to the other side. So that's what happened today. So we have all the knowledge available, readily available, and we read, gather a lot of knowledge. And now our mind is congested with knowledge, and we have some idea also, using all reading prescriptions, many. But if we use one direct answer given by the Buddha and practice it as much as possible, then you are in a more better position to understand what he is talking, rather than simply trying to feel all the things, gather all the things. So that is what typically happens when we are approaching Dhamma through too much academically, too much analytically. Then we end up with too much science, too much information related to Dhamma. So it is not Dhamma Anupassana, it is Dhamma Anussati. So you are thinking about Dhamma, your mind is filled with Dhamma, and you are feeling heavy because a lot of things to remember. So you are reciting, remembering many things in the mind. That is also beautiful. I mean, it is much better rather than looking at today's newspaper. So please read Dhamma books. So it's much better than newspaper. So but anyway, so if you are to practice, so you need to keep aside all these knowledges at least for some time, and sort of have a light mind, fresh mind. Then you can penetrate. Yes.
Venerable Bhante, we have heard that we continue to accumulate the three sankhara. Example, punyabhi sankhara, apunyabhi sankhara, anenjabi sankhara, moment to moment throughout our life. Number one, do we have to dispose of all these sankhara to attain Nibbana? Number two...
Wait, we'll go over. Today many question papers. Actually, anenjabi sankhara we can immediately answer. It is not typically occurring. Anenjabi sankhara refers to some meditative attainments, say especially the jhanic attainments, say material jhana, immaterial jhana. Those are the anenjabi sankhara. So if you are maintaining very good concentration, very absorbed concentration, what we call as jhana or absorptions, so those are also sankhara, also prepared, and they are anenjabi sankhara. But punyabi sankhara is where you do some good things. For example, say you are giving a dana, you are say protecting a person, say whatever the wholesome deeds, so they come as the punyabi sankhara. Apunyabi sankhara is the opposite, unwholesome deeds. So this also, I mean, go towards the mental, verbal and bodily. All these three ways you can do all these things. So these are wholesome and unwholesome. Punyabi is the wholesome, apunyabi is the unwholesome. So yes, actually in the meditation, actually slowly you are calming down all these formations. That is why when you are, say for example, when you are looking at your breath, so you can't say it, I mean you are doing any unwholesome thing, not at all. And a wholesome thing, it is true, but it is more close, that is, Buddha words use the term adhikusala rather than just simply using the kusala. Because here you are trying to penetrate the mind or to understand the mind, and the ultimate understanding you will see is that non-self, there is no person inside, there is a process going on. And there is no manifestation of I there. Personality view is penetrated, eliminated. So that is the teaching, taking you far. So definitely we can say that Buddha is taking us to the stilling of all sankhara. Sabba sankhara samatha. Means that you are stilling the wholesome sankhara, you are stilling the unwholesome sankhara, and it's a calming. Your mind is, so Buddha says it is visankhara gatan chittang. You are no more doing the fabrication. Now suppose you are getting a sign to your mind, you allow it to pass away as a sign without adding anything, without changing it, without coloring it. So you simply allow it to fade away. Suppose you are doing it again and again, so then this coloring part, adding part, manipulating part reduce. And then ultimately they come and go. And that is where Buddha is taking us. So calmness, kind of peacefulness, stillness of the formations. Yes.
Second part is, if so, how do we eliminate or reduce accumulated sankhara?
No, accumulated sankhara, you can't say there is... so then you have to tell it in a different way. You have to ask how we can overcome accumulated kamma. So sankhara once you implement, they are called kamma. Wholesome kamma, unwholesome kamma. So that is the kamma there. Then you have to ask how you eliminate kamma. So that is one approach other ascetics have taken, telling that even during the Buddha's time, there are some ascetics, they are telling that they are doing some elimination of kamma. And Buddha go and ask, do you know how far now you have eliminated kamma? And they don't know. Now suppose you have 1000 kamma potential available, and you do various ascetic practices. You stand by one leg, you go inside the Ganges river, and in the morning, and you do all these very different ascetic practices. So that is one belief during the Buddha's time. And one time Buddha went to such Brahmin, and he is asking from that Brahmin, are you aware now you have practicing like this for say 10 years, expecting kammakkaya, expecting the elimination of kamma. How far because of this practice you have eliminated? He don't know. He can't measure. How far is available for you to eliminate? What is the remainder? Don't know. So the Buddha's approach is not that. Kamma is one reason. That kamma is one cause. Ignorance is another cause. Defilements is another cause for the ongoing sansara. Say when we are traversing in the sansara, it is Buddha's approach is uprooting the ignorance, uprooting the defilements. So his first cause is not only kamma. Kamma is there, but another main cause is tanha, craving, and its sibling, the ignorance. So he has targeted that. He has addressed that. So he has uprooted ignorance. And when you have uprooted ignorance, then kamma is already, even though there is a lot of kamma available for you to give rebirth, the one main link, one main cause for how to rebirth is cut off. That is ignorance. If there is no ignorance available, even though kamma potential is there, it alone can't give you rebirth. So therefore, once you even uproot ignorance, new accumulation of kamma is also not there. That's why even when one becomes an arahant, so its ignorance is completely uprooted. There is no self-view at all. So then even though he do wholesome deeds, so it does not carry any kind of a kamma. Because he is not doing it with self-view. There is no personality. I do this, I do that. There is no such thing. So new kamma is not generated. And the previous kamma have become nullified like. So even though they did have the potential, they cannot give their results because there is no ongoing ignorance available. For kamma to give future birth for an arahant, impossible. The potential may be there, but ignorance is not there. So he won't get the future birth. So, but throughout this life, there may be possibility of ripening certain kamma and give certain fruits. And the very majority of it's eliminated. So that is the approach Buddha has taken. So the address is given, or what he addressed is the defilements. He has uprooted the defilements. So the kamma is already given the answer. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, can you please explain the connection between vipassana and samma sati? Please suggest some simple resources for beginners. Thank you, with metta.
Vipassana and samma sati. So basically, mindfulness is, say, Pali term is sati. So when you are introducing mindfulness, sati, so we talk about the satipatthana level. So satipatthana level, kayanupassana, vedananupassana, chittanupassana, dhammanupassana. So that is the beginning or the initial stages. Then as we discussed even yesterday, then we come across in the mindfulness to the indriya level. Actually, there are different other sections in this 37 enlightenment factors. Say, Buddha talks about 4 satipatthana, then 4 iddhipada, then 4 sammappadhana, the efforts, and then pancha indriya, 5 efforts, rather 5 indriyas, 5 faculties. So there the mindfulness is developed to sati indriya, faculty of mindfulness, where you can understand the presence of mindfulness among other various factors. Then it develops to the bala, to the power level, as we discussed yesterday. So that's another improvement. Then you go to the bojjhanga level, the seven factors of bojjhanga, 7 factors of enlightenment. So there Buddha talks about the sati sambojjhanga. So another stage of mindfulness. Ultimately you come to the last stage, that is the samma sati. 8 factors, 8 path factors. So there you have the samma sati. So it is not that you can't get samma sati immediately. So you start with the kayanupassana with the basic bare attention. That's the beginning. That's the bare attention. And more it improves. You come to different levels of mindfulness. It is not that mindfulness they are throughout the life or throughout your practice as it is. It is also evolving. All are changing factors, changing skills. And you start with bare attention, then it improves the faculty level where you can understand the presence of mindfulness. Then you can understand that you are protected by mindfulness. Your mindfulness is pretty strong. And then you can understand the enlightenment factor. Mindfulness is present that you can oversee the other things. And then one reach the samma sati. Yeah, the samma sati level, Buddha talks about that it can see the wholesome factors and unwholesome factors, and it can eliminate unwholesome factors. So likewise, more strength is there in the samma sati level. So that's a kind of a gradual development in mindfulness.
Venerable Bhante, why do bad things happen to good people and vice versa? Thank you. Much metta.
Actually, that's why there are different causes you can give. So, karma is one cause, climate is another cause, your negligence is another cause, having, unhealthy food is another cause. So, there are many causes. Now, say for example, if you are talking about a particular disease. So there Buddha says, karma vipakaja abada. There are certain diseases which happens due to karma, accepted. That is also there. Then utuparinamaja abada. Now there are different climatic issues. Say you are living in an area where some polluted gases are available. So you end up with some kind of a aspiration related disease. So that is due to climatic issues. So that is utuparinamaja abada. And again, say you are in Nuwara and then you get some climatic issues. You go to Anuradhapura, you have very heaty environment, so you end up with some rashes or whatever thing. So you have the climatic conditions. Utuparinamaja abada. Visama pariharaja abada. You don't care much about your body. You don't bath or something like that. You don't wash yourself. So you carelessly maintain your body. and you drink and all the things, you have some wrong diets and all these things, you end up with some diseases. Visama pariharaja abada. So you are not caring about your health. Visama pariharaja abada. Opakkamika abada. Then other people also can give trouble to you. Others are giving some bad things to you, or they do various things. Because of that, you get illness. Utuparinamaja opakkamika avada. Sorry. Kamma vipakaja I said as the first. Then pitta samuttana abada, vata samuttana abada, semha samuttana abada. So that's another side. If too much of phlegm, you get one type of disease. If too much of heat, you get another type of disease. So all these are different causes Buddha has shown. So it is common to all human beings. Even you do wholesome deeds, even you do unwholesome deeds, this is a human body. So we all share the same thing. So therefore, diseases can occur to good people. Diseases can occur to bad people. So, and you may get accident even if you are a good person. You may get accident even you are a bad person if you are negligent. So it's a cause and effect. You can't simply say, you can't come up with a rule telling nothing bad can happen to good people. Can't say so. Even, Samavati, for example, if you know the story, Samavati is a attained lady, actually a queen. She was burnt by another queen, burnt whilst they were in the palace. So they were all attained queens. So it's better today. Not yet such thing happened yet. So during the Buddha's time, even such things have happened. It's very difficult. So you can't say that the whole society is bad today when compared to Buddha's society. Society is every time good and bad is available. But because of our, different media, so it is being taken too much. Because of media, you are always talking about the bad side. Bad side, good side is there in the society every time.
Last one. Avasarai Swamin Wahansa, this is just a thank you note. Last time, after the last retreat, I promised myself that I will always be mindful. However, due to lousy schedule, mostly Dhamma activities.
Sorry? Due to?
Lousy schedule. Mostly Dhamma activities, less personal work. I could not achieve 100%. At yesterday's Q&A, you stated that we will not be mindful at all the time. Some days we can, and some days we cannot. Yes, this is what happened to me. I should not be discouraged. Much merit to you.
Good. So, too many Dhamma activities? So, I don't know. So, we simply have two, just discussion and the Dhamma sermon. I don't think that is too much. Because just 1 hour, I think that is also necessary. Because Buddha talks about 5 supporting factors for your practice. So, Sutta Anuggahita is one thing where you know certain teaching of the Buddha. You need to know some facts. And Sila Anuggahita, you need to have your morality, Sila. Then the Sakacca Anuggahita, you have to get involved with certain discussion because you can eliminate your doubts. And then the concentration practice, tranquility meditation, that is the Samatha, and Vipassana Anuggahita. So these 5 together, if you are supported, Buddha says you'll be succeeded. So don't think that you you simply need to have meditate, then you may feel bored. So having kind of now, if you are eating, you can't just eat just rice. No, you need something, some few vegetables and different things. Then it's balanced. So that's why retreats are typically it's a balanced diet. Yeah. So that's all. Actually, we have written questions. So if you have any verbal question, so we have some time, or else we can wind up the retreat. Okay, then we have come to the conclusion of the retreat. So, would you like to share some words?
First, there is a small notice. There's a Shamadana program which will be held on the 5th of July from 8:30 to 12 p.m. Your participation is much appreciated. A yogi is providing sand for walking paths, and we need your assistance to lay the sand, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we have come to the end of a successful 3-day retreat today. I want to first take this opportunity to thank Nissarana Vanaya, Venerable Dhamma Jiva, and also Venerable Chandaratana Thero for being with us since Friday and guiding us through this meditation session. Second, I want to thank Dilhara, Savanti, and the organizing team, together with the caterers and helpers, for all their efforts in upkeeping this place and making this retreat a reality. I also want to thank Gangaramaya for giving us these premises to hold the retreat. I'm sure you had a wonderful retreat. Just a few reminders before we close. Do not forget to take any belongings from the lockers and return the keys. Clean the rooms and toilets and switch off the fans and lights. And we also want to let you know that we are solely running the center on personal donations given by the participants. Therefore, thank you for all the donations you have given, and we are all very grateful. Thank you for all your cooperation in making this retreat a success. May you progress further on the path. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, so all these 3 days we have accumulated a lot of merits by observing good morality and participating to Dhamma sermons, participating to Dhamma discussions, and practicing walking meditation, sitting meditation. We were able to develop mindfulness, wisdom, concentration. By this way, we have accumulated a lot of merits. So let's share all these merits with all the past relatives. We'll share these merits with all the deities or devas. We share these merits with all the living beings who are in need of merits. Further, let us wish that these merits help us also to attain path, fruition, nibbana. While keeping these good wishes in our mind, let's recite the traditional verses. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasatta cha bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu sasanang. Akasatta cha bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasatta cha bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātīnaṁ hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.